Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Jeannie, and today's video is my third entry for the Style Korean K-Beauty Guru contest. Somehow I made it into the top 16. I honestly thought that it would be over after the top 32 for me, but I made it into the semi-finals thanks to all of you who have been voting for me, who have been watching my video and supporting me. Thank you guys again so much for all of your lovely comments and messages. Your guys' support means the world to me. And now I'm in the semi-finals in the top 16 and it's all up to you guys. If you want to see me in the finals, please make sure to watch this video, share it with everyone you know because the views do contribute a lot to the points, and also make sure to go vote for me on the Style Korean website. You can vote every single day starting from today until October 31st, and if you do vote every single day, Style Korean will actually gift you a coupon that you can use on your next purchase. In today's video, the mission was to do a makeup tutorial. I'm usually a little bit better with skincare than I am with makeup, but guys, I really tried my best. So today I decided to do a flawless fall makeup inspired by all the fall colors. I do get a lot of questions about my foundation routine, so if you've ever wondered which products I use, make sure to continue watching this video and let's get right into the tutorial. Okay, I pulled you guys a little bit closer, a little bit too close for my liking because now you can see all of my imperfections. But before we get started, let me quickly get my bangs out of the way. First step, before I even get started, I'm gonna go in with the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask because I will be wearing a matte lipstick and I want my lips to be very smooth and moisturized before I do that. So I'm just gonna apply this before I start my makeup. Just apply a generous coating all over my lips. Moving on to primer, I'm going to be using the Touch in Sol No Pore Blem Primer, which has very quickly become one of my favorite primers. If you do have uneven skin and you want to smooth out your pores, definitely check out this primer because this stuff is amazing. Just applying this all over my face, especially focusing on my cheeks because that's where my pores are extremely visible. And then of course around the nose and on the chin area because that's where my makeup tends to break up the fastest. I'm also gonna go very lightly under my eyes and on my eyelids because I'm too lazy to use eyeshadow primer. I mean, I'm gonna do my makeup and then wash it off, so there's no reason for me to be wearing primer. Just really doing it for the sake of the video. I'm actually going to be starting off with the eye makeup, and the first step is actually using some tape because I'm using eyeshadow to create my liner and I want it to be really crisp and clean and perfect, hence why I'm doing my eye makeup first rather than my foundation first, so I still have room to fix everything. Put it on the back of my hand first just to get off the initial stickiness, so I'm just going to be applying this following the natural shape and curve of my eye. Like this. I feel like this piece is a little bit too long, but oh well. Now we're ready for eyeshadow and I'm really excited because I'm going to be using the Heimish Brick eyeshadow palette, which I wanted to get my hands on so bad, and now that I have it, I'm super excited about it because the colors are absolutely beautiful. Starting off, I'm actually going to be using the brush that comes with the palette because this is actually not too bad. And I'm gonna go into the first two colors, which are both matte. These are called Warm Beige and Nude Beige. I'm going to be mixing them together and use them as a base all over my eyelid. I'm focusing it a lot more closer to the lash line and just kind of fade it out the higher you go up. And then as soon as you hit that tape, you can just go over it. You don't have to worry it because it's kind of like a shield. You guys know I'm not that good with makeup, but I have been trying to improve my skills. So nowadays I like to layer a lot of shadows. And first up, I'm gonna go into this shade here, which is the second darkest color called Sand Brick. And I'm going to be using the other side of the brush, which is very small and flat, and it's perfect if you do detailed work. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that color and I'm going to be placing it right in the inner corner of my eye just to darken that up a little bit. As for the outer corner, what I'm doing is just look straight ahead in the mirror to see where my natural crease is, and then just connect that natural crease right to the end of the tape. Then I'm going ahead and close my eye and just fill in whatever is underneath that line that we just made and almost creating an eyeliner effect. To deepen that up even more, I'm going to go in with the darkest color in the palette, which is called Dark Brick. It's basically just a dark chocolate brown. And I'm going to use that and just repeat the same steps. So I'm going to go into the inner corner, darken that up a little bit, focusing the color as close to the lash line as possible. And then again, repeating the same thing with the outer corners. So connecting the natural crease like this, and then closing my eye and just filling in that gap Now that I removed the tape, I have a clean edge and I'm just going to go in with the color and just perfect it a little bit more. Another thing I like to do is use a cleansing wipe, or in my case I use micellar wipes. I apply this right on top of my fingernail and I use that to really clean up that edge. That's why I didn't do my foundation first, because otherwise I would be wiping all of that away. But this way you're giving yourself enough room to really perfect the wing and your eye makeup in general. Taking the two darkest eyeshadows, again going in with this one first, I'm going to fill in the outer third of my lash line, and then again taking the darkest color, I'm going to be using that on my lower lash line as well. And if you go down a little bit too much, it's fine, you can clean everything up. Moving on with the shimmery colors to give the look more life, I'm going to go in with this color here called Bronze Brick. I'm going to be using a flat shadow brush just to really press the color onto the lid. And I'm going to be applying this color basically in the entire negative space area where we didn't apply any eyeshadow. Just really press that in, kind of blending it into the dark brown so the lines are not too harsh. Also taking that same color, I'm going to be applying it right in the inner third of my lower lash line. So right in the center where your pupil is. And then for the very center, I'm going to be using this shimmery color here, which is a little bit lighter than the one that we just used. And this one is called Salmon Pink. I'm going to be applying this on a flat brush again and really just focusing right in the middle where natural light would hit your eyeball. To highlight the inner corner, I'm going to be using this beautiful gold shimmery eyeshadow called Honey Gold. And I'm going to be packing this right in the inner corner, in the inner third of my under eyes. And just to be a little bit extra, I'm going to be applying a little bit of it right in the center on the top of my lid. Moving on to eyeliner, I'm going to be using this Tony Moly gel eyeliner, which is really cute because you have the brush right up here. Basically what I'm going to be doing is just line the upper waterline and also go in between the lashes. In the waterline, but also wiggle it between the lashes a little bit to fill in the gaps. Now that I'm done with that, I'm also going to be applying it right in the inner corner just to darken that a little bit. And that's already it for the eye makeup actually. I use mascara as my last step of my routine, so I don't really finish off with my lashes right now. But I'm just gonna take my little cleansing wipe and wipe away all of the excess right underneath my eyes. And then we can get started with the base. As you guys know, I already have primer on, so I'm going to go in with concealer, and I'm going to be using the Sun & Park Custom Concealer Kit, which comes with 3 different kinds of colors. I'm going to go in with a salmon kind of color first to go right under my eyes to conceal all of those dark circles. Since it is a cream product, I like to just go in with my fingers because the warmth of my fingers really makes sure to spread the product evenly and work it into the skin. I also like to use a little bit on the sides of my mouth because I am a little bit darker around my mouth area. Moving on to foundation, I'm using my trusty Etude House long wearing foundation. This has been my absolute holy grail for over a year. What I'm going to do is I work in sections because this foundation dries up quite quickly. I always start off with one side of my cheek first, and then I blend it in, and then I move on to the rest of my face. Since I've been using BB cushions for so long, I really don't use brushes anymore, so I like to go in with BB cushion puffs. You can buy these on their own online. And what I do is I use a little bit of water and I mist it just a little bit to make it a little bit damp. Then I just go in and blend the foundation right into my skin. So as you can see the difference, foundation, no foundation. You know the hardest part about filming makeup tutorials is always making sure that your mirror is not too close to your face, because then people will not be able to see what you're doing. But when I'm doing my makeup in real life off camera, I'm always like this. One test that I always do is I do a double chin test. So I go like this to make sure if it's the same color. Tell me if you do that too. As you can see, the foundation is very high coverage. There are some of the spots that I would still like to cover up a little bit more, so I'm going to go in with concealer. This is the Chica y Chico matte concealer in the number light beige. I've been really loving this, so I like to go in to the dark spots that I have. Just some of the hyperpigmentation that I have left over, I like to just apply a little bit of that. Let it on the chin, just I feel like I'm just going everywhere. I really don't like to use brushes that much because I'm too lazy to wash them. Like, washing your makeup brushes is the most tedious task that you can do. But at the same time, I don't want to use dirty brushes, so I just decided to resort to using my fingers instead because I wash my hands all the time anyways. Now that we're done with the base, I'm gonna go in with a cushion blusher, which I have a little bit of a hard time with. Usually I prefer to use powder blushers, but I want something that's a little bit more long lasting and I think the color is very pretty. So I'm going to be using a cushion blusher. This one is by Apia. It's their Air Fit Cushion Blusher and it's in the shade OR01. I don't immediately go into my face because the color deposit is going to be crazy. What I like to do is I just put it on the back of my hand until there's almost no color left on the puff. And I'm just gonna go into my cheeks very lightly. You can see it's the perfect amount of color that's being deposited on my face. That is it for the blush, and now we can go in and powder. And I've been loving this translucent powder called Powder for Room. It's basically a mattifying powder. I don't really bake that much because the concealer and the foundation that I've used are matte and very long lasting, so there really is no need to bake. But I still like to go in with a translucent powder just to set everything, and also for any powder products that I'm going to be using on top to blend a little bit easier. I'm going to be contouring my face a little bit. I'm just going to go in and just contour the edges of my face a little bit, especially around the forehead area because I do have quite a big forehead, so I like to contour that to make it look less big, I guess, because I can't really say that I'm trying to make it look smaller. I'm trying to make it look less obvious. To highlight, I'm actually going to be using an eyeshadow, and it's from this eyeshadow palette called Brick It Shadow Hit 10 by the 16 brand. I'm going to be using this very pearly and shimmery light pink and use this as my highlighter. Go right on top of the cheekbones, a little bit on the bridge of the nose, and then on the tip, a tiny bit right on the cupid's bow. Moving back up to the eye area, I'm going to be doing my eyebrows. As you can tell, they are a little bit filled in already. I've actually been using the 8-Day Tattoo Brow Liner by Makeup Face, which is basically just like those gel peel-off tints that you can use to tint your eyebrows, but this is a felt tip liner, so it's a lot easier to use. I still am going to fill them in a little bit by using my favorite brow pencil. This is the Etude House Drawing Eyebrow Pencil. Brows are the hardest part for me personally because I can never get them to be even. I think they're even. I don't know, I can't tell. I can never get my brows to be even, but I think this is the best that I can do today. Finally, moving to mascara, I'm going to be using the Para Air Wing Lash Mascara, which I've really been enjoying. But before I go in with the mascara, I always have to curl my lashes. My lashes, they're so straight. I feel like they're straighter than me sometimes. I really like the wand since it is a little bit curved. It follows the natural shape of your eyes, like the way your eyes are curved. So it makes your lashes look hella nice. Now that's left are the lips, and I'm going to be using a matte liquid lipstick from La Beauté, and it's actually one of their new velvet lip tints which have like a velvety matte kind of finish. So I'm going to be applying this all over my lips. I'm not doing a gradient or anything like that at all. I'm just going to be applying this right on top of my lips. So this is the finished look. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thank you again so much for watching and for all of your support, and I'll see you guys in next week's video. Bye! Oh, and also, happy Halloween in advance. Bye!